am as harmless as ladybug spots reflecting sun.
When my back is broken from all this weight, and the pain is terrifying.
From now on, I am the third word in a sentence of 16, and I don't care if you forget me, just don't let your thoughts perish.
And I could not hear, see, or feel what God was doing. And at this particular time, this particular guy, he flew in.
Cause when I look in the sky, I wonder if I'll be sent up there. Thinking of heaven, that's a place I would love to live in and literally spend endless years.
You're watching the East by Southeast Spoken Word Showcase. I am Selah V, and I'm here with one of my favorite poets, Element 615, also known as Joe B. Hi.
Hello.
So I have so much to tell you.
Yes.
First of all, your name has came up a lot this year during the show.
Really?
People saying things highly of you.
Really good stuff?
Yes. And not only that, people talking about the work that you've done.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been very busy. I've been this year I was director for the 2013 Austin International Poetry Festival.
Director. You don't understand. Guys, when he was telling me that he was up for nomination for this, I was like, yeah, Joe, don't get your hopes up. You know what I'm saying, man? And then he calls me. He's like, I don't know if you called me or I read it first and then I called you. Yeah, I read it on Facebook. And he was like, I made director. Literally, I had just dropped him off, and he was going to the meeting. Do you remember? And he was like, I got it.
Yep. Felt very good. Felt very good. It was, the festival itself, as always, putting it together has been a labor of love, but it was very much worth it to see that many people, whether it's 100 or 100,000, come together, period, much less for poetry. So.
And I'm going to say this, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this. I really didn't think he would get it, man. And the reason why was because, like, you have different genres of poetry, and I didn't think they'd be cool with our genre, but they were. I was like, oh, awesome. So you did a lot of fabulous things. I've heard a lot of, you had a lot of bumps in the road, but, I never heard that from you.
There were no staggers, but, there were some staggers, but at the end of the day, I'm here to make it happen and bring people together. And when you really are enthusiastic enough about it, you really don't have the time to complain.
So you know what else I heard? And you never do complain.
I try not to.
You never do. And I know that you had reason to complain, but you didn't.
Unless I want to make you laugh.
Yeah. And you know what, Joe, what I heard?
What?
I heard you got a standing ovation.
There was some clapping and standing up. I was really humbled for it. I really didn't even want a whole lot of praise for it. I just wanted to make it happen. People even fussed at me to read because I didn't put myself on the schedule to read. But at the end of the day, I was grateful. I was surprised and appreciative of the praise I got for it.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, babe.
So what poems did you bring?
I brought a poem that I wrote for my daughter and two of my personal favorites, Stronger Things and Intermittent.
Cool. Before we sign off and we hear some of these poems, before I sign off and let him do his thing, you can catch his open mic. It's a phenomenal open mic. It's at Kick Butt Coffee on Sundays. What time do you kick it off at?
7 to 10.
7 to 10, and it has been going on for
about 5 years.
5 years, open mic. Come check it out. Sunday, Kick Butt Coffee. Okay, Joe B. Ladies and gentlemen.
I live my life from paycheck to paycheck. So, in exchange for all the services that I render, I get the next day. It means you're barely able to pay the bills. And no matter how many tomorrows I get, they go so fast that before my check comes, all the money is spent, and all I have left to show for it is a kitchen drawer full of yesterdays that I can't do anything with. I applied for assistance, but you only get help sporadically. It prompts you to stop asking. I gave up on waiting for someone who breathes, someone who bleeds, someone who's gonna fail just like I do. I gave up on waiting for someone else's light to guide me out. I ain't never been one for waiting anyway. I decided that since I'm on borrowed time, I better live this life now before someone comes back around asking for the money. I need to live like the money is here instead of writing a check. I can't be sure I can cash because I'm still kind of sore from the last time I found out I was wrong. So from now on, all bets are off. Nothing is anything anymore. But if you need to know anything about me, then know this. I come from a place of not many, but few. I come from a place of no better than you, and that's the last part of this poem that will rhyme. I will no longer write to recreate what I see when I do what you see when you do take notice, because when I ask you and you tell me, I have no idea what you are talking about. From now on, I will live my life behind blue bars in a white cell, just waiting to receive a temporary pardon, or better yet, some time out in the yard every time I push out a real piece, give you some soul food as opposed to some knee-jerk chicken. From now on, I am the third word in a sentence of 16, and I don't care if you forget me, just don't let the thought perish. I'll give a care. Keep some on me in case you need one. And if I find out I know more than you, then I will see to it that we are on even keel before our time together is done, and I will no longer wait for someone to love me. Because when you think about it, if you don't love yourself enough to be happy being alone, you've been cheating on yourself with everyone you thought you were giving your heart to, and I am done being an adulterer. I will live my life as a slave to the idea of my own freedom, wearing the whelps on my back with pride. So if you have to know anything about me, then look at yourself. Some of me and all of you, and vice versa. I will pay what I owe for what I've done, and when my time is nigh, when that check comes, that'll be in cash, not credit. Don't ask me for anything other than nothing in maybe about 5 seconds from now, because that's all that I have. Don't ask me about tomorrow or further. I got no future. I've already lived it. At all that I got left, I've got the past, and my Lord knows I've got enough trouble letting that go. So at all that I have left, what I have, what I know that I have, is today. Today works. Tell yourself you can't. Tell yourself, not today. Say you're not able. You can't afford it. You're too hot or you're too cold and no one else wants to. Why does it always have to be you? You don't feel right. This doesn't feel right. They're going to say no, or they're going to say yes, or they won't say anything, and you'll fail. You'll fail and they'll laugh, and you'll die. You'll die right there. So just give yourself any reason to avoid or evade. Let's just cite every drawback, cop out. Tell yourself anything, and I mean anything, to help you believe you should do nothing, and say it loud enough for me to hear you. So I can call you a liar to your face. So I can grab you by your neck, pull you from the muck and mire of your self-pity, because I believe that you should end. I think that you should die. I feel your life should cease so that you can live the life you've held on back order. Like the shoe actually fit. You're not allergic to the light. You just don't want it on you, and I don't get it, because that's all I've ever seen come out of you when your arms aren't folded. Hey, let's acknowledge that you even have arms. Quit complaining that you don't have the strength, because if that was the truth, you would not hold on to things as you do. You are not a prisoner. You are a warden in a one-person jail, and what's worse, you're a workaholic. Wreak havoc on the hopelessness. Subtract it from the whole of you. Believe a little less in your doubts. You cannot say that your life is pointless if you won't pick your head up and look where it's pointing you. Scream, I love you, in a crowd loud enough for you to hear it, and just revel in the nervous happiness. You are everything you wish you were. You just don't wish to realize it. Pass on the plates of outside opinion unless you can be fed without suffering the indigestion of indecision. Turn why didn't I? And why didn't I sooner? Change I don't know from question to statement, and quit whining unless you're trying to make someone laugh, thereby making yourself a superhero. Accept your own friend request and quit fighting with yourself unless you're just sparring for when you need to get it on with anyone, and I mean anyone trying to knock you down. I'm not saying look for a fight. I'm saying don't run from it. Pretending it's not there doesn't mean it plays along. File a restraining order on your self-restraint and be the devil and all those little demons of yours. Just because you created them don't mean they get an easy ride today. And quit reading all your little motivational posters, because we know you ain't listening. You're probably not even paying attention to the poem. It's called life, and it happens. And yeah, you have to act like you want it, but it's not yours. It never has been. It's a path. It twists, it turns, and yes, you go where it goes. But I heard if you walk it just right, you get to rest while those not as far along as you ask you for the directions. And should you reach the very end, there's everything waiting for you with the honor of a memory. You are so much more than your misery, but it's not up to me to be you. Just be happy I know you. I will always be there, behind you, beside you, with all those who love you, waiting for you to erupt from your thick husk, cut through the callus of your condition, and call whatever crawls out your character. Finally accept the truth that you won't hear as you've adhered to your cherished fears, that we are amazing. That we are made of both his and each other's love, that we are both fearfully and wonderfully made, that we are made of stronger things. She will be what she already is, a beautiful little girl, dream-given form with sepia skin soft as a pleasant thought, kissed by the sun before she was born because it could not wait to play with her. Counselor in her right eye, magic in the left, her very own shade of brown, the very hue of wisdom with love in the corners. Whatever you've been dying to tell someone, she'll just look at you like she already knows. A cute little nose with an angel's ears, a smile not infectious but vaccinating. Her very giggle will inoculate your soul from sadness. From her birth, there were only two types of people, those who love her and hate themselves, because self-honesty reveals either or. She will possess a heart that pumps resilience, a timeless soul with limitless imagination. She'll be happy to share, but bring your own. It wouldn't be right for her to do it all by herself, although she probably could. Laughing, hugging, and crayons will range among her chief priorities. She'll try to color between the lines, but should she etch beyond said barriers, and that's just what needed to happen. Nap time is something she will only do when necessary. There's simply too much for her to do to waste time closing her eyes. She'll have a thing for applesauce. Applesauce will be important. There'll be days when applesauce will be the only thing that stand between us and total annihilation. She'll never hide unless it's her turn to, or the world just really gets on her nerves. She will find a woman in the mirror one day, and they will love each other forever. And her real strength will be found in beauty, sacrifice, and her real beauty will be found in strength, sacrifice, and resilience. Even the dreams she won't want to have will guide her, but some days she'll need to stop. She'll rest her hands at her backside. She'll breathe, and she'll keep going. This is what heroes do. You're a hero. There will be days, you'll always believe in magic, but there will be days where you will speak incantations like daddy and hear nothing back. You will look for the first man to ever love you with a space for him in your heart shaped like the vacant seat at your tea parties, and some days, I won't be there. Days you'll need help touching the sky, and I won't be there. Lost butterfly kisses, wishes from birthdays, non-refundable. Daddy, how do I look? And sometimes I won't be there, but you will still look for me within the crevices of your memory, saving me a place within possibility. But with or without my love, you will keep it moving, dealing with factors as opposed to living with excuses. This is what women do. You will write out the pages of your own destiny, living within the key of your own song, and at the end of your day, there'll be a place outside where the sun can't wait to play with you, and the wind and the rain can't wait to dance with you. And there will be laughter and tears and applesauce. You'll be what you already are. That's just the beginning.